Welcome everyone to our next video in our series to help you stay sane in the healthcare environment. The content in this video that Amy, Perry, and I are going to share with you is based on Positive Intelligence mental fitness program founded by Shirzad Shamim. Today, we're going to be sharing how stress shows up and offer you some effective ways to manage it. At the end of our presentation, we're hoping that you're going to be able to walk away with noticing how our saboteurs can surface and cause our stress, what we can do to overcome that stressful feeling, and share with you a new example of a PQ rep that you can start using now. But first, let's talk a little bit about the anatomy of stress. Stress can occur at the thought level, which is likely because the negative voices of our saboteurs are taking control of our mind and causing our stress. Stress means that the survival region of our brain is activated. Stress can also come from the focus level. When we're stressed, we're typically focused on events of the past, ruminating over and replaying old storylines in our heads, or we could be worrying about the future, playing that incessant what if game, which can bring forth future-based worrying and increases our stress. The harder you think activates the survival brain, which worsens your level of stress and can throw you into reactionary mode. So how can we shift? If we can begin to notice when we're stressed, pause, and access the region of our brain, which is the sage region, we can calm our brains, we can have more clarity in our thinking, have more clear-headed, laser-focused action, and stay present in the present moments. So instead of thinking your way out of stress that you're feeling, if you can activate this sage region of your brain by doing a PQ rep to get really present in the moment and get clear on your next step is going to be. So now I'd like to invite Perry in, who's going to share some examples of how some of our common saboteurs activate our stress.
All right, thanks, Sue. So the judge, the master saboteur, causes us to judge ourselves and creates negative self-talk, like, what's wrong with me? And that creates doubt, guilt, shame, stress. Judging and blaming others, and whether these judgments are spoken or unspoken, create relational rifts. Judging your circumstances often makes you feel stuck, helpless, and unhappy. Basically, when hijacked by the judge, you waste precious mental and emotional energy, and your stress soars. The controller tells you if you work hard enough, you can control things to go exactly your way, and this will lead to the best outcome, which will make you happy and feel less stressed. However, that is a lie. You spend an extraordinary amount of time trying to tightly control things and often get bogged down into micromanaging the how things get done, which leaves you unnecessarily frustrated and stressed. With hyperachiever saboteur in the driver's seat, you'll tie your sense of self-worth to your achievement because you tend to be dependent on constant performance for self-respect and validation. That's a lot of pressure and creates stress. This saboteur pushes you to always be leveling up. But because of hedonic adaptation, the satisfaction of achievement is short-lived, and then you feel you must achieve more to feel worthy again. It's really a vicious cycle. The pleaser saboteur makes you think you can gain acceptance and affection from others by helping, pleasing, rescuing, or flattering them. You think that by pleasing others, they will like you more. But this isn't necessarily true. At work, you may find yourself saying yes to your colleagues or boss too often, leading to feelings of overwhelm, regret, stress, and resentment for overcommitting. The pleaser saboteur causes unhealthy boundaries, which is a huge producer of stress. The stickler saboteur causes you to think that it has to be perfect. So your perfectionism and the need for order and organization is taken too far. The stickler lie is if you create perfect order in everything, it will bring you peace of mind and comfort. But in reality, you will often experience feelings of frustration and stress because of working overtime to make up for others not living up to your ideal standards. Now that you understand how saboteurs can produce stress, let's talk about how your view of stress makes a huge difference in how you manage it. Stress is part of life, and we need it. And there's two types of stress: eustress, which is helpful stress, which is what we need, or distress, which is harmful stress. According to Kelly McGonigal, it's your perspective of stress that determines if stress is bad for you. If you see stress as bad, then it will have a negative impact on you. If you see stress in a more positive light, it can actually serve you. For example, you can choose to see stress as an opportunity to build resilience. Mental fitness training can help you use stress as an avenue to learn, grow, or be inspired instead of being beaten down by it. Now, Amy will share about a personal experience at work.
Thank you, Perry. So I work as a floor nurse at a hospital, just to have a little background. I usually have 3 or 4 patients on the day shift, which means I have that many patients to pass their morning medications to, which can be a lot, mind you. Like I would say maybe 10 to 15 medications per patient, so times by 3 or 4. So it's very, very busy in the morning. But on this particular day, I started my shift by deciding to really take the time and sit down with my first patient to ensure he was being heard. My report from the night nurse was that he was having a hard night and did not get much sleep due to confusion and just overall frustration from being in the hospital. I normally am rushed to give out the medications in the morning, but I decided today to take the sage route and really hone in on his needs rather than my tasks that needed to be completed. So as I entered the room, I noticed he was sitting in the chair, and I decided I would sit on his bed instead of my normal, which is standing at the computer, charting as I'm getting his medications ready and asking this person how he's doing, because I really wanted to be eye level and be present for him. So I sat down, and as we were chatting, I noticed there was something wet underneath me. Now, the next part of the scenario could have gone one of two ways. I could have gotten really upset and let my judge take over, telling myself that this was just a stupid idea, that I really shouldn't have started out this way because now I'm sitting in someone's urine. Or I could have taken the sage route, which is what I did. I first paused, and of course, I moved from that spot. So I was on dry land, so to speak. And I did some PQ reps on the patient's voice and got grounded by feeling my feet on the floor. And then I listened really intently to the patient's needs. I passed his medications for him and basically made sure that I still took the time to take care of what he needed to feel good starting the day out. I left the room and I changed into different scrub bottoms. So after the fact, I actually laughed it off thinking, well, if that's the worst thing that's going to happen today, I've already got that checked off my list. So I moved forward with my day and did not let the negative judge ruin my day. Before taking the PQ program, I would have been really frustrated and I would have set myself up for continued frustrations throughout the day. And I would have said inside my head, of course, well, this is exactly how my day is going to go. And then my mind would have ensured that to be the case. So now let's do a PQ rep together and see what a mini mental reset feels like. I invite you to sit comfortably with your spine straight, feet flat on the floor. And if you could close your eyes now, if that's comfortable for you, or gently gaze at a spot in front of you. We're going to focus on using our auditory sense. What sounds do you hear around you right now? Really tune in to the sound furthest away from you. And what do you hear closest to you? Now bring your attention to the sound of your breath. Notice the sound of your breath as you inhale and the sound of your breath as you exhale. Notice the temperature of the air as you inhale through your nose and notice the temperature of the air as you exhale out of your nose. Keep focusing on the temperature as you breathe in and out of your nostrils, continuing to let go of thoughts as they come. Now we're in Now, since we're in sage mode, I am inviting you to take a moment with your eyes still closed, if that's comfortable, and think about a time you recently had a stressful situation at work. Really tap into what happened and the actions in that moment that you took. Can you see what saboteurs showed up? And now consider the negative impact on you and others around you. How long did that negative impact affect your day? How could your day have been different if you had been strengthening your mental fitness and you're able to use the self-command muscle to reset and choose a better sage response? Now visualize what you would have done differently and what PQ rep you would have used. And see yourself choosing the better response. And feel that positive result. Noticing how your day would have been different.
Thank you, Amy. It was always love going through PQ reps and getting much more into sage and a calm mode. So in addition to PQ reps that we have shared with you over these first 3 videos, other self-care tips are making sure you're paying attention to your sleep, your nutrition, and obviously moving your body and exercise. And as healthcare professionals, we always feel as though we can do it all. Ask for help. Lean on your colleagues. Remember, the more we try to think our way out of stress, that just leads to more stress. So if we can learn to recognize when we're feeling stressed, we can then pause, do a PQ rep, or just take a mindful moment by activating one of your 5 senses and shift yourself into sage, which is going to calm your brain and ease your stress. Taking a few micro breaks throughout your day is really supported by research out of Microsoft's human lab studies. They did a study with several participants where they hooked them up to EEG caps, and they monitored those that did not take breaks throughout their day as opposed to those who did. And you can see that in this chart that those that did not take breaks at all throughout their day and just, I'm going to continue to do everything, I don't have time to do this, they ended their days with their brain's images showing that they were in high levels of stress, as opposed to those who did take care of themselves throughout their day and did take quick micro breaks. Doesn't take long. Again, we've said 10 seconds, 2 minutes of taking micro breaks, and look at the difference of the brain images. Look how much less stress those participants ended their days with. And what does that do for us? That brings us more energy so that at the end of our days, at the end of our shifts, when we go home, we have more energy to be more present with ourselves, our families, partners, whomever we might be going home to really be present for those moments that count. We hope you've enjoyed this series today of learning some techniques on to manage your stress. Amy, Perry, and I would like to extend an invitation to you to take the saboteur assessment that's provided in the link under this video and reach out to one of us to schedule a complimentary debrief call with us. We all offer 7-week mental fitness individual and group programs, so schedule a call. Learn about our upcoming dates and get some more information. Thanks very much, and we hope you all have a less stressful rest of your day and can stay in sage.